1,800 tons. That's how much Germany's Landkreuzer P, 1,000 Ratte, weighed. A tank so massive it would shatter roads like a sledgehammer through glass and collapse every bridge in Germany. Welcome to the bunker. I'm Professor von Blunder, and today we're examining the land battleship so stupid it could have won the Allies the war. During World War II, Hitler had a problem. He needed superweapons to turn the tide. So naturally, Germany designed a tank the size of a naval cruiser that required an actual shipyard to build. A tank so big it would destroy German infrastructure faster than enemy bombers. A tank that was never built. Thank God. Now, when you think tank, you probably picture something that can, I don't know, actually move through a city without demolishing it. The Germans had other ideas. They didn't even call the Ratte a tank. They called it a land cruiser, because when your armored vehicle has more in common with the Bismarck than a Panzer, you've officially left the realm of ground warfare and entered the realm of maritime delusion. The Ratte was 35 meters long. That's longer than a blue whale. It was as tall as a church steeple. It was so wide that maneuvering through an urban area would have been either impossible or apocalyptic. Probably both. Think of it like trying to drive a destroyer through downtown Berlin, except the destroyer is also on fire and actively bankrupting your war effort. The Ratte had the crew complement of at least 4 heavy tanks. It was armed with guns usually mounted on heavy cruisers like the Scharnhorst and Gneisenau. Naval guns. On a tank, it also packed enough anti-aircraft weaponry to ward off waves of attacking fighter bombers. Because apparently someone looked at this rolling cathedral of steel and thought, you know what this needs? More guns. The Ratte was so heavy it would shatter and churn pavement like a plow through sod. It would collapse all but a handful of bridges in Germany. In engineering terms, that means they wanted to build a tank so big it needed a shipyard and a prayer. The construction would have required months of skilled labor per unit, transportation and handling equipment usually reserved for actual ships. This wasn't a tank. This was a war crime against logistics. Now, the Ratte was never actually built, but its much smaller cousin, the Maus, was. And the Maus turned out to be a ruinous waste of resources for very limited combat applications. It was slow, it was expensive, it broke down constantly, and it weighed so much that it couldn't cross bridges either. The Maus was a disaster, and the Ratte was going to be 5 times worse. Had the Ratte's development progressed even a fraction as far as the Maus, it would have devastated Germany. In tactical terms, that means the Ratte would have destroyed Germany faster than the Allies ever could. Just building one would have consumed the resources of 50 to 100 more useful tanks like the Panther or Panzer IV. In military efficiency terms, that means trading 100 useful tanks for one extremely photogenic disaster. Now, since the Ratte was never built, I had Private Timmy demonstrate the concept here in the bunker using a historically accurate scale model. Timmy, show them how the Ratte drives over a German road. Test 1. The floor cracks. Test 2. The basement collapses. Test 3. Timmy is now buried under 6 tons of concrete and rebar. Timmy, can you hear me? Nothing. The Ratte project was thankfully cancelled. It's probably to the detriment of the world that we never got to see one of these hideous machines actually built. It would have meant an earlier end to the war. It would have provided a damn hot ticket at a museum. And it would have been the single greatest gift Germany could have given to the Allies. A tank that destroys your own country. Genius. Time for the stupidity meter. Money wasted. Would have been catastrophic if they'd actually built it. 10 out of 10. Enemies killed. 0. It never left the blueprint stage. 0 out of 10. Collateral damage to Timmy, currently buried under the bunker. 8 out of 10. Overall stupidity score, 6 out of 10. A monumentally stupid idea that was thankfully stopped before it could bankrupt Germany even faster. If you had unlimited resources in 1942, what stupid superweapon would you build? A flying submarine? A tank made of cheese? Let me know in the comments. And someone please dig Timmy out of the rubble. I think he's still down there.